You are listening to the Warrior Project podcast, where mindset, tribe, and violence meet.
My name is Justin Garcia, also known as Master Chim, and welcome to the Warrior Project podcast. If you guys have not yet visited MasterChim.com, please do so. Why? Because that's where you sign up for the Master Chim letter. What is the Master Chim letter, you ask? I will answer you. It is a free daily morning email I send out to you with announcements, with updates, sometimes with some content, usually filled with some power. And I would really like if you signed up because it gives me yet another way, another opportunity to share my stuff with you, the listener. So today's query, should women be warriors? Okay, so now here we go with a probably my first controversial topic on the Warrior Project podcast. Now, if you guys have been following my stuff for any length of time, you understand that I do not shy away from controversy. But when it comes to this specific topic, I think there is so much power to be discussed and shared and is often left on the table because people are worried about hurt feelings as opposed to hurt brothers and sisters, right? Which really matters. And I think if we break it down logically and go through the progression, you'll find that although my take may not be the most popular amongst the more progressive bunch that we find, it's still going to sort of make sense and be congruent with the backdrop of reality, right? So should women be warriors? Well, we first start off by defining what a warrior is, right? So I've defined what a warrior is in an episode, What is a Warrior? And for the most part, I stated it is founded of a role in a tribe whereby they are putting themselves in harm's way between the threat and the tribe itself, right? So to be a warrior is to fill the role of shield, if you will, right? They are the wall that is established when a threat presents itself. So now, if we look at what is the function of women, and when I say function of women, I'm going to start biologically. Women, we need you to have our children, right? It's kind of how we do things, and we rely on you. So, being that that's the case, do we want to take the members of our tribe and assign to them the role that puts them in harm's way when they are the ones who we are actually trying to protect the most, right? The only segment or the only component of our tribe that we're trying to protect more than women are the actual children. But if we have this mindset that, listen, we want to live, we want to exist, we want to survive, we want to thrive generationally, right? Our legacy is in our existence, is in the formulas we've acquired over time to be able to overcome any obstacle or adversity. Well, keeping our women safe is not a testament to their inability to do for themselves, but actually speaks to the premium at which a tribe holds them, because they hold the key to the next generation. They hold the key to the tribe's actual survival. So, should women be warriors is the question I asked, and I want to point out that I did not ask, could women be warriors? Let's address that really quickly, because that may be the elephant in the room for some of you listening. Could women be warriors? Of course they can. Of course they can. Now, women are as intelligent as men, speaking large numbers. For the most part, physically, they are, again, large numbers. They are inferior physically to men when it comes to strength and those attributes that are best suited for violence. But sure, there are force multipliers. There are different components and different applications of violence that women could absolutely do as well as men at. But I didn't ask could women be warriors. I asked should women be warriors. I would say if you look at a society that takes the bearers of its children and puts them in harm's way, that is a commentary on the frailty, the fragility of that society. I think any strong society that sort of has everything in order does not get to the point where it needs its women to put themselves in harm's way to protect the tribe. Now, obviously the conflation that often occurs is, well, I'm a woman, I could do whatever I want. I could, if I want to join the military and become a warrior, that's absolutely. By all means, absolutely. And could you do it? Sure. Well, I guess that's up to you. There are plenty of women who are very productive and active members of our military. There are plenty of men who don't make the cut. So there is obviously a broad, large spectrum of capabilities when it comes to the individual, right? And that is completely granted. But again, I come back to the query of this episode: should women be warriors? Well, I have 3 sons and a daughter. And one of the things that was asked of me when I had my daughter, or my wife had my daughter, is after having 3 boys, the assumption is, oh, she's going to be a tough one. You're going to train her. She's going to be a fighter. She's going to win the UFC. And there were all these things that were placed on what people expected me to expect of my daughter that were really based on how they saw me dealing with my sons. Well, when people ask me, what do I want for my daughter, or how am I going to train or raise my daughter, the answer has always been, I'm going to raise my daughter to be a good mother, to be a good wife, to be a strong woman, to have control of her mindset, to have control of her biases, to be able to understand the value of a strong man as opposed to the dangers of a weak man. I want to be an example for her of strength so that I set the tone and create the model by which she judges other men. I want her to be able to have a family of her own. I've always said, hey, boys build warriors, boys win wars, women allow us to build alliances. Now, when it comes to my daughter, should she be a warrior? I hope she does not have to function as a warrior for our tribe. Is she going to be capable? Of course she's going to be capable. My daughter is going to learn jiu-jitsu. She's going to learn how to box. She's going to learn how to run a blade, how to run a pistol, how to run a carbine, how to shoot for distance. She's going to learn to do any and every skill that I could teach her. But at no point is that going to speak on what her role should be in a tribe, because ultimately the tribe survives when it is strong enough and probably smart enough to realize its women need to be protected because they have the greatest job of all, which is having our children and allowing us, the tribe, to survive at all. Visit thewarriorproject.com. Join me in the Warrior Project Tribe behind the wall. The Warrior Project Tribe is my membership group. And when you go to thewarriorproject.com, you'll find not only past episodes of this podcast, but you'll also find the way that you could join us. Now, aside from the huge archive of, at this point, hundreds of episodes, each titled specifically to the topic that I cover, you'll also find my power programs. This week, as a matter of fact, I'm releasing Kill Your Biases, an entire video program I made on being able to mitigate and control biases in your life. I have power programs on the loyalty matrix, which is my tribe formula, strong dad, strong son, which allows us to raise strong men from strong boys. All of these things can be found in the Warrior Project Tribe, and I would love to have you there. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for the great reviews you guys have been giving me on iTunes. I appreciate it. And remember, warriors, someone believes in you. Prove them right.